Hey guys, Primetime Johnny here, and today I want to do a quick video about the real reason that Rumbleverse went offline. So, I made a video in March, let me see, yep, March 26th, and it was about Rumbleverse Season 1, Season 2, and why it ended, right? So, about a month after I made that video, Adam Boyes, the former CEO of Iron Galaxy, went on a podcast and said the real reason that Rumbleverse ended. Hey guys, Editor Me here. I just wanted to hop in and say that the podcast that I was referring to actually was recorded March 14th, so it was before my video dropped. And what's funny is, like, that podcast dropped while I was making the Rumbleverse video, so I just missed that completely. So, quick correction there. I should have covered this a little bit ago, my bad, but I just want this just to be on YouTube just as a, I guess the word is an addendum? Kind of like a little bit of an addendum to, like, my Rumbleverse video. Like, we're gonna react to why I said Rumbleverse ended, and then we're gonna react to Adam Boyes and like the real reason why Rumbleverse ended. So, because the reason why we're reacting to mine is just because I don't remember exactly what I said, but yeah, like this guy Jalopy Bungus, he always says at the beginning of his videos, I need you guys to just put on your harnesses and lock in. All right. So we're gonna do a reaction to this. If you like this and you want to see more, consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel. I mean, this isn't like a Rumbleverse news channel or anything, but I just thought it was important to just share this with y'all. But let's do this. We thank you so much for playing. It's weird reacting to me. So if somehow you stumbled upon this video, this may even be your first time hearing about Rumbleverse, and therein might be the problem. As far as I know, there were barely any commercials or advertising for this game. Kinda true. The player base, to my knowledge, because I don't have any stats in front of me, never really grew since the game came out. It was always kind of the same people you fought, and you kind of got better that way because you always kind of ran into the same people. At a certain point, there came to be a lot of bots that would fill up the room sometimes. By the end of the game, I would say like half of the lobby was bots that you could kind of just beat up to get to the real people you could actually fight. And it really is a shame because this game had some really good word of mouth and like the streaming community when it came out. Now, I don't have direct facts in front of me, but a lot of people believe that this game only had a certain amount of time to turn a profit, and when it didn't reach that goal, Epic Games decided to just scrap the game. Hey guys, Editor Johnny here, and I wanted to hop in and explain a couple things before we keep going because I forgot to mention them while I was doing this video. So Dave Lang, who's like the head of Iron Galaxy, he recently, well not recently, it was about a year or so ago, he put out an interview with him saying that, you know, basically the metaphor was like Fortnite's kind of like the big fish and every other battle royale is kind of like the small fish, so they're all kind of fighting for the same position, so it was hard for Rumbleverse in that regard. For two, what I could gather is that Rumbleverse was basically burning money. Like, I mean, Epic Games, I can't refute that. That's what he said. Were like putting a lot of money into it, so I guess it was just becoming a bit pricey to keep going. And the third thing is, it seems like Epic Games kind of like shut the game down very quickly, because from what I gather, like Dave Lang said, you know, they cut them off, and like they cut them off so fast that it was hard to find another producer. So I think that's the problem with why it was such an abrupt shutdown, but I forgot to mention that in the video, which was alright. So that's what I said, and I feel like I was only half right. So we finally got the real answer to why Rumbleverse ended. It shouldn't take too long. It's just like 5 minutes. I just wanted to... I mean, I've already seen it, but I want to react to it with you guys.
Blessing wanted to crack into his cards, but where I want to start while Blessing starts organizing this is, again, I mentioned it back there. We kind of had you've lived this with Rumbleverse.
Yeah.
A game we adored it kind of funny, and we're all about
I did too.
Yeah. Walk me through that, because this feels like firsthand, like Iron Galaxy when you were there, obviously, co-CEO, living through this of, okay, we have a number of these kind of problems. For me, moving more to, I would guess, the threes, it looks like, forever games and captivate players, right?
Sure.
Of like these things, whereas how do you get a game that's always going? How do you do this? Talk to me about your retrospective on Rumbleverse in terms of this conversation.
Absolutely. No, it's so whenever you're making a game, you want to try to make it as successful as possible. So there's a mixture of, you want something that you know is going to resonate with the team. There's a vision part of it, and then there is the market fit part of it. And so we kind of felt very strongly that if we partner up with Epic Games and they give us the playbook to Fortnite, then that's going to stack the deck in our favor, because we're going to learn and meet with the teams. And they were incredibly supportive the entire path. Like, they were always meeting with us, weekly meetings, talking about metrics, talking about goals. And then it's like battle pass conversion and the amount of outfits we should have and costumes. But it was also like, there were our decisions, and then we would make some sort of changes and evolutions based on feedback. But you know, when you make a bet, because I remember when we started development of it, my feeling was that people would have multiple battle passes. Like, you guys probably have Hulu, and then you also have Max, and you also have Netflix. And so in many of our brains, we thought people would have multiple battle passes, right? They'd run 4 or 5 at a time. That just didn't come to be true, right? It was like you had 1 or 2, and that was it.
Yeah.
So that was sort of a big thing that we all didn't understand fully. And because we were sort of locked into that free-to-play.
They were locked in to free-to-play. keep that in mind.
Then you're like, oh, the battle pass is the solution in converting players. The other part that, you know, it's easy. I remember when bots first came online in Fortnite, it was like, oh my God, it's so much more fun now, because I can get with bots that I feel like I'm making progress. But a lot of people don't realize is that when you build a server that's meant for 40 players at the same time to connect, that costs, let's say, whatever, $1 a day. Just easy math.
Yeah, sure.
When you put bots in your match, you're basically reducing that 40 down to, let's say, 10 players. So now the cost per player goes up dramatically.
Sure.
If you want it even easier, then it's 1 player per entire server. So that whole dollar cost per 1 player versus the dollar cost you're breaking
That
across
math
the 40
ain't
players.
mathin'.
Math ain't mathin'. And so
I mentioned that there were a lot of bots near the end, and that was probably a cost-saving reason, because it's just easier to keep the servers running that way. But okay.
the more you wanted to make it replayable. And then the other thing about Rumbleverse is that the more success that it had, there was basically sharks that were incredible at the game. Super amazing.
I'm aware.
There were a lot of
times. The amount of times I got down to like number 2, number 3, and then I'm like, how are you doing this?
Yes, yeah. and then the problem is sharks want minnows. They want to feed on minnows.
Sure.
And so your role is to try to get as many new players in. But if their first experience is getting eaten by sharks,
you're getting stomped.
So what happened from day 1 to, like, you know, month, day 30, is that, you know, the people like were there first got really good. Their play times were high, right? We still had great sort of player incoming. But then if you get murked 4 times in a row and you're not seeing progress, then you sort of spin out, right? And then you don't convert. The other part is, because so many other games were sort of getting canceled, there's a lot of hesitancy for people to buy battle passes, because their perspective is, why should I invest in a game that might not be here in 2 years? Right?
Yeah.
So then they're waiting, or the outfits weren't, you know, compelling enough, or the offering. And so there's just a lot of players that are coming out of, you know, they bought Minecraft for $20 and that gave them thousands of hours.
Right.
My kids are playing, you know, they used to play Roblox a lot, still playing it. That's free largely for them. So why would I invest in that ecosystem? So you think about those things, the metrics end up being really good. We had 10 million downloads, really, really awesome, healthy sort of daily active users. But then you sort of...
I'm sorry I keep pausing, but like, for so long in like Rumbleverse, Reddit, comment sections, I feel like we just got gaslit for so long that Rumbleverse wasn't that successful. But like, there were like tons of like streamers and like a whole bunch of people like sponsored by Rumbleverse to play the game. So like 10 million downloads and a healthy player base, that sounds about right. So like we were just all confused. Like I guess there weren't that many people playing, but there were a ton of people playing. It feels like kind of a weight off of your shoulder to hear that. Like, you know,
math out the math over a 2-year period, and you're like, ooh, even if it breaks even in year 1, you have to recoup all the money that's been spent by the publisher, right? So they're basically trying to earn back their money.
Yeah.
Then you got to get where the flywheel's earning profitably, and they just did the math, and they're like, this isn't going to pencil. And so I don't blame them. You know, obviously it was challenging the team. It was emotional when we got the call and had to inform the team. It's hard to see your baby be turned off.
Of course, yeah.
Luckily, we have I mean, Iron Galaxy team was amazing to go through that. But there was never any, you know, there's sour grapes for, you know, probably 24, 48 hours.
Yeah.
And then you're like, it's a business. And that's the hard part a lot of people think of, like, why are you shutting it down? It's like, well, there wasn't a path to profitability. And no one's running a charity. And so, but some companies do have either the underpinning where they can invest in evolution and long-term output, but it just wasn't in the cards.
That's a really good point. Okay, I've organized my cards.
I love that. I love that.
And so we can go back and forth. Or
No, go for it. Knock socks off. I like watching you work.
So,
but yeah, I'll be sure to watch this whole thing. But yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to share with you guys. The reason why Rumbleverse shut down isn't because it was successful, but it wasn't profitably successful. They assumed that people would just buy the battle passes, and when they didn't buy it, like the money math just wasn't mathing. So it wasn't because no one was playing it, it's because it just wasn't profitable. So if you're watching this, I want you, if Rumbleverse were to ever come back, I want you to comment, like, to me, the fact that they were locked into the free-to-play model is what killed the game outright. So like, if the game were to come back, how much would you pay, like, upfront to play Rumbleverse, right? So I think I would pay like $20. Like $20 up front to play Rumbleverse? That's nothing. That's chump change to me. So how much would you guys be willing to pay to play Rumbleverse again? I said play. How much would you guys be willing to pay if Rumbleverse came back? I say 20. 20 would be perfect. Like, you get 10 million people paying $20 to play it. That's profit right there. But I wanted to share that with you guys. I'm going to share my Rumbleverse video it's going to be in the end slate of this video, my Rumbleverse video. I've also got some Fatal Fury content that's on the channel right now. If you want to watch that, you can. Yeah, guys. Yeah, this is like just kind of a footnote to my Rumbleverse video, so I just wanted to share this with you. I wanted to share this with you. I'm all over the place today. But yeah, guys, I hope you have a great rest of your day. I'm out. Peace.
Glory to